Talking to a camera is a skill that many people have trouble with, even if they're super extroverted and able to speak live in front of a large audience. But that doesn't mean it's impossible to get comfortable in front of the camera. At the end of the day, it's a skill that anyone can learn. And at the start of my journey on YouTube, I was super camera shy as well. So today I'm gonna go over the top tips that helped me get better at talking to the camera. First up on the list is preparation. And with this, you can either do a word-for-word script or a bullet point list. Overall, you want something written down so that you have an idea of what you want to say before hitting record. A lot of times it can get awkward when your mind blanks and you don't know what to say next. So it's really helpful when you have a script because this helps you stay on track. And I actually have a script right in front of me right now that I'm referencing. If you're a total beginner and you're super uncomfortable going off the top of your head, then I suggest you write out your scripts word for word and then reading them line by line when you're recording. And you're gonna mess up a lot of times, but just know that it's okay. You can always just fix it in the editing process. So yeah, don't stop recording, just keep filming and then keep saying the line until you say it right. What you can also do is you can use something like a teleprompter. There's tons of them that you can find on Amazon and all you have to do is just attach it to your camera. There's even some that you can attach to your tripod. This will basically allow you to read off of a script while looking at the camera lens. Now, this isn't necessary and I actually don't prefer this option myself. That's because I just find it a little bit obvious when I'm reading off of a script while looking at the screen. But if you're a total beginner and it helps, then this is another option that you can take. Back when I was just getting started, I wrote all my scripts word for word, and I also used the teleprompter because I wasn't comfortable saying everything off the top of my head yet. But the more that you do it, the better you get at being able to come up with sentences along the way. And yeah, with the teleprompter, you could use an app like Parrot, and this basically allows you to display your script on your phone, which you can then attach to your teleprompter. For scripting and planning out your content, we recommend using platforms like Notion and ClickUp. So if you guys aren't using those platforms, then I highly recommend checking out our previous videos, and those will cover basically everything you need to know about how to use those platforms. It's great for personal use as well as creating content calendars. You can plan out every single video that you're gonna make, and then inside of each video that you plan out, you can go ahead and script it out on those platforms. The next tip that I wanna go over is that you need to be 30% more enthusiastic. The camera has a weird ability of making you seem 30% less energetic than you really are. This is because you're talking to a camera. There's no response, there's no facial movements, and there's no body language. So you're basically talking to a wall. And so because of this, a lot of people, they end up sounding more monotone than they really think. Especially me at the beginning, I sounded super monotone, and it wasn't until I recorded my first few YouTube videos that I realized this. So if you're naturally more shy, you're probably gonna need to be way more energetic than you think. And a great way to see this is just by doing a test recording of yourself and then watching it back to see if you sound less energetic than you want. You can also send the clip to a friend and ask if they can see any difference between how you talk on camera versus how you talk to them in real life. As embarrassing as this may seem, it's a great way to get accurate feedback when you're unsure of how you are on camera. It's super important to be energetic on camera because nobody wants to watch a video where the person just is lifeless. And especially if you're trying to teach something through a video, it's a lot better for engagement and retention if you're talking with a lot of energy as well as some emotions. And if you feel like this is too hard for you to do right away, then I recommend that you actually look into taking an improv class. This is great for not only being able to talk to the camera, but it's also really good for being able to talk to other people while the camera is recording. So if you have a podcast or something like that where you're talking to another person and the camera is also there, it can be difficult to be present while filming because sometimes, you know, if you're interviewing somebody for a podcast, for example, you could just be focused on following the script that you wrote out, and then you miss out on actually asking the right questions by being present. So improv classes will help out a lot with this. It'll teach you a lot about how to be confident in conversation, as well as how to think quick on your feet. But if this is too hard, you can always just read an improv book instead. I recommend checking out the Improv Handbook or the Improv Manifesto. The next thing that I want to talk about is getting more and more repetitions. This is super important because you will not get better at anything without doing it a lot of times. I want you guys to know that this is a skill that anyone can learn with enough practice and time, and you don't really get over the fears of talking to a camera. You honestly just learn how to accept and ignore your fear. To this day, I'm still uncomfortable talking to the camera, but I've just learned to take action regardless of how I feel. A lot of the times it's in my own head, and if I think about how some of the greatest speakers in the world started out, it helps to remind me that I'm in a period of my life where I'm just practicing and training to become a great speaker one day. I like to think of it like my Rocky cutscene where I'm doing things like running, doing push-ups, and spending a lot of time perfecting my craft. And I know that in the future, I'll look back and I'll be super proud of my younger self for being able to take action despite his feelings. So even if you're afraid of talking on camera and even if you're super uncomfortable, I highly recommend you guys just take action and do it as much as possible because at the end of the day, that's the best thing that you could do if you want to get better. The same thing goes for anything else. Like if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, you need to create as many YouTube videos as possible. If you're trying to get good at sales, then you need to hop on as many sales calls as possible. To quote somebody who I really admire, and that's Alex Hormozy, he says that volume negates luck. And so it's not about being born with natural talent and being able to talk to the camera. It's about doing an enormous amount of volume and repetition in order to get good. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think after trying some of these tips out. And yeah, if you guys got some value out of this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos just like this. Here in this channel, we make a lot of how-to guides and tutorials dedicated to helping out new entrepreneurs start their own business. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I will see you in the next video.